Alright, welcome back. This is going to be a quick map. We've already kind of gone over regions, and so I just did very broad shapes to cover entire regions, which is fine if you want specific enemies in certain regions, but I'm going to go over real quick how to add a little bit more detail to your map. And what I generally do is I'll do giant shapes like this to cover whole regions. So if we back up, we can see that we covered most of it. But this is all very generic, and sometimes you're going to want specific enemies in very specific spots. And so I'll zoom in and show you. So the map has a bunch of different geographical features, and so you might want, and I think we've gone up to like 15. I'm going to start at 16 just in case. But you might want special areas like the trees right here. You might want one enemy just to show up in this area. So what you'll do is you'll just go through and color all the trees on your map this, so that it adds a little bit of realism. So anyhow, you get the point. Move on to the next one. Another cool thing that you can do is just put special, maybe like beach enemies. If you have any enemies that are related to oceans or anything like that. Go through and do the whole coast here. So you can do things like that. And then one other thing you can do, if I have super special enemies, I'll just start backwards because you're never going to get this far, ideally. But maybe there's an enemy that has a super special drop item, and he can only be found right here. So I've created this enemy. And there was an enemy like this in Final Fantasy VII, I remember, that had a special item that you needed in order to breed the birds that you could race. And so you had to go to the island, only one island, so it was even like this. Like some remote island like this that you had to find. And then you had to not only just be on the right island, but you had to be in the tree area, the bushes. And you had to steal it from them. And so even something like as special as this, this is a very easy way to add secrets to your game. And then also, if you wanted to, generally I don't add enemies to maps like this, or especially inside of a house. But let's go to this world map. If you were going to create, so let's say we've got, I'm just going to do this real quick. We've got mountains, right? And the character needs to walk. So we've got all these mountains. And you've got like a path or something. If I switch to the region tool, maybe I want this whole area to have enemies. And I'm kind of giving my user a choice. Do you want to battle enemies? If you do, wander off the path. If you don't, stay on the trail. So I would go through and fill this in. Basically just color this whole area in, and then just continue with the path. And then that way, it kind of gives them the option. If they are in the mood, they can just walk wherever they want, or maybe they don't even realize that's what's happening. But if they stay on the path, and then if you wanted to, you could even just throw a couple random ones in so that Sometimes they're on the path to hit it, so they might not realize that they have a better chance of avoiding them. But those are just some of the secrets that you can use. I know we've kind of already gone over regions, but if you wanted to add super special regions, so on this one that we did, the super special one, you would just go to your map, you would go to edit, I'm going to click right here, specify by region ID, and I want him in whatever region I put him in. It was like 251 or something, 256, 216. $255. That's all it goes up to. And then boom, there's a bat. And then all you do is go to your database and create the super special item or weapon. So maybe there's an enemy that has a super special weapon that we made, right? We made the chainsaw. So I'm going to go to enemies, I'm going to go to the bat, and I'm going to drop items, and it's going to be weapon, and it's going to be the chainsaw, and it's not even going to be that probable. It's going to be, you have a 1 out of 10 chance of getting it. So you're going to just have to sit there and farm until you get this bat, who eventually is going to drop this weapon. Apply, boom, and it's only in one spot. So that's just another cool way to create secrets.